Pulling into Cherbourg on the 7th of May, my anxiety was playing absolute havoc. I hadn't slept very well. It was a dreary, dreary morning, a kind of a dull, foggy morning. And all I could think about is, have I bitten off more than I can chew? I'm going to drive my bike over 1,000 miles to Poland. And I was thinking, I haven't even driven on this side of the road before. So I was really, really nervous and frightened about it. On the way into Cherbourg, I noticed that there was a ballistic submarine sitting in a pen. It was the Redoubtable, decommissioned in 1991, but it was a museum attraction. I was tempted to go over to it, but I wanted to go and have a look through it, walk through it and that, but this sat-nav was really acting up. It was like giving me crazy directions around the port, and I said, you know what, I haven't got time to be now negotiating this. If it was a few days later into the trip, I'd have no problems doing it, but at this stage, as I said, my anxiety was playing havoc with me, and I didn't want to be playing on the wrong side of the road and stuff, so I said I'd give it a miss and push on to further into Normandy. Hey, hello all, how are you getting on? So yeah, survived the ferry trip. I'm now in Cherbourg. It won't look any different from anywhere else, but yeah, I'm in Cherbourg. All these trucks passing me just past customs. So I'm going to head on towards the Normandy Cemetery, the American cemetery in Normandy. I think it's about an hour away. But yeah, when I get there, I'll keep you posted. Alright. Hey, so driving along the motorway, and I see a sign. I'm heading towards the Normandy cemeteries, and I see a sign for Carantan. And so I remember Carantan being mentioned. It was a battle in Carantan, I think. The 101st Airborne Division was featured in Band of Brothers. So I said, I'll pull in here and have a look, as you do. And I came across a museum, and it's got a Sherman tank outside it. Isn't that just absolutely cool? Like, it's a big old Sherman tank, M4 Sherman. So I'm going to have a walk around this museum inside here. It looks absolutely incredible. Like, isn't that mental? So I'm going to have a look around the museum, see what's going on. This is a lovely little museum. There was parts of it that when you walked into an area, a sensor would pick up your body walking in there, and it would start off like a machine gun fire or a video or something. And it was really well done. And it seemed to be like a family run place. So it wasn't like an official, proper big museum. It was only a small little place with a cafe attached to it. It was nice. It's quite nice. Seeing the motorcycles in there was eye-opening. Of course, I gravitated towards them. There was one was a Harley Davidson, and the other one was a small little. It was like a little a bicycle that was converted to a motorcycle. So it was quite interesting in that. Then seeing the Nazi flags, geez, that was like, it's always like a kick in the gut, you know. You see these the Nazi symbol or Nazi flag in books, or you see it when you're watching a movie or a TV show or a documentary, but when you see it physically, when you actually see it close up, physically in front of you, you know, you realize what it is. It's the embodiment of evil. That symbol represents evil to our world, you know, and it's hard to believe. You're looking at it physically in front of you. It's hard to describe it, you know. You have to maybe be there yourself to get that. But yeah, it was a lovely little museum. Great show. Hello, back again. So yeah, I was in the museum. It was really good. It's kind of a small museum, but it's jam-packed full of stuff. You know, there's a lot of memorabilia. Would that be the right word? Maybe not the right word, but a lot of artifacts in there. You know, from World War II and the Normandy invasion, and from the Battle of Carantan as well. And here I am, of course, being an ex-Navy guy, I'll have to find an old Higgins boat to do a video next to. So that's what they landed on Normandy beaches on, which is kind of incredible. You can imagine that jam-packed with soldiers and two sailors in behind it, bringing it over, you know, quite incredible. You know, so yeah, excellent. It's really cheap to get in. It's like €9 too, you know what I mean? So it's a nice little museum. It's the Museum Carantan, the Normandy Victory Museum in Carantan. Going into Normandy cemeteries, I didn't know what to expect. I thought I was kind of desensitized to it, to be honest with you. I had seen it in 100 million different movies and 100 million different times, you know, but I'd never actually physically been there. So I went in there, I went through the security check by walking into the visitor centre. And when you're inside the visitor centre, what it does, it really does it really well as well. It brings you to the story of Normandy, day one, what happened as they were getting onto the boats, what happened as they were getting into the Higgins craft, what happens as the Higgins craft lands, and what happened afterwards, maybe up to D-Day +2. And it really immerses you into this story, this narrative of what was going on, what the soldiers were feeling, what they were going through, quotations from soldiers who survived. And then you go into the second part of it, and what it is soldiers, their names, who it's basically introduce you to who is buried in the cemetery, who they are, their names, where they were from, a little bit about them, how they passed away, and the date they passed away on. And you begin to realize that these crosses, they're not just pieces of stone lined up all neatly. What they are lives. They're young kids, if you think of this, right? They're only like 17, 18, 19-year-old boys, you know, and that's what they were. And they went and they did something absolutely incredible, and they paid the ultimate price for you and I. And when you look at that, it melts into you. It becomes part of you. It's so sad. And the vastness of the area, I could never get over that. It was just absolutely enormous. There was so many crosses wherever you looked. So sad. Hello. So just left the American cemetery in Normandy. Wow. It's just mind-blowing, to be honest with you. It's there's just so many crosses there. You know, I know that may sound pretty ridiculous, but it kind of blows the air out of you, you know. When you see all the crosses lined up. I thought I got to the end of the cemetery. There's a monument, and I walked a bit further past the monument, and it's just, you know, thousands of more crosses, you know. Just goes to show you the sacrifice that was made to take back Fortress Europe, you know. And that's only part of it. You know, it was very touching and very very touching guys, you know. Catch you later. So, hey, guess what? Made it to the campsite. Okay, so we're in Calais. All the fun and games. There's some drivers in these roads, holy shit. So made it to Calais. It's a really kind of misty, foggy day now at the moment. My tent, as you can see, really funny thing happened. Got to my tent, or put my tent up and everything else, all ready to jump into it, and went to inflate my mattress, and what do you think happened? Batteries in the pump gone. So went over to the girl in the campsite and asked her, you know, do we know anywhere where you can get these large batteries, you know, those big barrel batteries? And she looked at me like I had, I don't know, fell from outer space, and she goes, no, not around here, mate. So I'm on the ground tonight. My blow up mattress is not blown up, so it'll be a rough night, but when I test the sleeping bag, see just how warm it is. In the meantime, a pot noodle, water is boiling there. I'm going to have a cup of coffee. I'm going to try to edit these videos together for the last 2 nights, the one from last night and the one for today, and hopefully get my head down for a while, because I am absolutely beat. So, and tomorrow then it's on to Amsterdam. So talk to you in a while. Have a good one. Bye. Oh, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, wherever it is, here on the screen or there on the screen, or maybe there. Have a good one.